Once upon a time, there lived a woman called Aduke. Aduke lived in a faraway village in the south, and she was married to a man named Adetola. Aduke and Adetola had been married for over 15 years, and they struggled to have a child for 10 years after marriage, until Aduke conceived and bore a son called Toby. Toby was a very sickly boy right from birth, and he has been so sickly, and no one knew why he was always falling sick. This made Adetola, his father, hate his wife Aduke, as he blamed Aduke for giving birth to a very sickly child. Aduke was sad all the time because of her husband's hatred for her. And every time Adetola got back from the farm, he would shout and shout and shout. He was always agitated at the sight of his sickly son and never failed to say hurtful words to Aduke, as he believed it was her fault that their only son Toby was sick. One day, Toby became so sick, and this made Aduke so worried, as she had no money to take him to the herbalist for treatment. Aduke quickly ran to the farm to look for Adetola, her husband, with hopes that he would give her some money. When she got to the farm and explained their son's condition to Adetola, he hissed and did not seem bothered at all. Aduke knelt down and pleaded with him to please give her some money to save their son's life. But Adetola's heart was hardened at this point, as he felt he had spent so much already and was not willing to keep spending. So Aduke scampered around the village, knocking from door to door, begging the villagers for money, but no one gave her money. So Aduke cried and ran back home to her son, who was now in a very terrible state. Aduke quickly rushed her son to the village herbalist and pleaded with him to help her heal her son for free, as she had no money. Touched by the condition of the boy, the herbalist agreed to heal her son, and Toby became a bit better. Adetola at this point had gotten fed up and left Aduke alone with her son Toby. Adetola believed Toby was too much of a burden, as he was no longer interested in being a part of their lives. Aduke raised Toby all alone, and it was not easy trying to make a living and also looking after a sickly boy. Many years later, Toby was now grown and no longer sickly. His mother, Aduke, was now old, as she had spent most of her adult life looking after her sickly son, Toby. This took a toll on her health, as she was no longer strong and now needed care herself. Toby would spend the whole day with his friends and would return home late at night. Aduke would always plead with Toby to stay back and cater to her needs, as she was frail, but Toby would grumble and leave the house angrily, not minding how his old and frail mother would cope all day. This went on for a very long time, till one fateful day when Aduke became extremely sick. She had a very high fever and was too weak to walk or even scream. She shivered on her bed for hours, praying that her son Toby would return home sooner. That fateful day, Toby stayed back at his friend's house and returned after 2 days. When he got home, he met his mother's bed empty. He looked around the house, but his mother was nowhere to be found. This sent shivers down his spine, as many thoughts began to go through his mind. Toby was now confused and worried as he wondered where his old mother could be and prayed nothing bad had happened to her. Days passed and there was no word from his mother, so Toby began to search around the village for his mother. He searched and searched and searched but couldn't find his old mother. It was now night, and Toby immediately remembered one place he hadn't checked, so he rushed quickly to the location. On getting there, he saw his old mother, very sick and weak, lying all alone in front of the hut of the village herbalist. Immediately, the memories of his years as a sickly child rushed back to him and he began to weep. Toby regretted all his actions and begged his mother to forgive him. That was how Toby began to take care of his old and sickly mother. The lesson to be learned from this story is that we should never forget the sacrifices of our parents and loved ones, because it might just be too late when you realize that you could have done more for them. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps us grow our channel. I'll see you in our next story. Bye.